Hey guys, what is up? My name is PandaMaster, and welcome to my spoiler-free review of episode 4 of 30 Coins. I first want to apologize for these ridiculous blinds that I have in my room. It is disgusting. I hate them. They're useless, and it does the stupid... y'all see what I'm talking about. Anyway, it was kind of visible in yesterday's videos, but not as bad. Now it's just like... they're useless. They're useless. I would replace them, but I can't. And so, yeah. Love you living in university apartments. Anyway, I forgot my pandas. Anyway, I also have a blue tongue. I'm just going to throw that out there now because I'm sure it'll be noticeable. And my teeth are kind of stained blue. That is because got a freeze from Taco Bell. So just going to throw it out there. Get all that out of the way, right? And so, let's talk about 30 Coins. Let's talk about this newest episode. I was right. Just wanted to say that now. I'm glad that we got, some recognition about from yesterday, how I said about, that we're going to see some... Again, I'm going to keep this spoiler-free, but, we're starting to see some pushback from the community and different stuff like that, and so I'm glad to hear that. And so, yeah, let's talk about memories, because I thought this episode was great. Another great episode for 30 Coins. Definitely got a lot more exposition. We know sort of what's going on. But I was also super confused. I mean, we're introduced to a lot of different characters that seem to be pretty essential to the story of 30 Coins and Father Vergara and just all of this stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of when they constantly switch back and forth between two different narratives, but I didn't think this was terrible. I don't know. I can't think of a better way to narratively describe what's going on, so I don't necessarily fault the show, but it's not my favorite way to keep bouncing back and forth, but again, that's... I feel like that's the best they could have done with, what they have set up for them. And so, yeah, I really like Memories. Definitely got a lot of stuff, a lot of spoiler-heavy territories that I'm not going to get into. But I really enjoyed Memories, and I enjoy these new characters that we've got going on. The new character of... And I'm trying to remember because the Wikipedia page doesn't have them. And so, we learn about Father Vergara's, basically his friends, right? That he, I don't want to say grew up with, but he knew in his training to become a priest and all of that, or just whatever his sort of thing, his allies over in Rome. And so we see some really cool stuff going on there, and we learn a lot about his history. And I wouldn't say we're necessarily completely caught up, because again, there's still so many questions, especially surrounding Fabio, which is this mysterious character with a lot of questions we don't know the answer to, and Father Vergara doesn't even necessarily know the answers to. And so I think I'm really excited to learn more about this Fabio character. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but, he is a very, very enticing character. The other friend that I can't remember, Sandro, I believe is his name. I like Sandro a lot. I think he's a cool dude. I hope we get to see more of him, because I think I like him and Father Vergara's relationship. So I'm excited to hopefully see more, maybe, I don't know. But... yeah, I think there's some really cool stuff in this episode, and I think, like I said, we're getting introduced into some cool characters. Still do not like Mircea, by any means, and Paco and Elena just keep getting closer and closer, and I'm just like, oh, can you just do it already? Yeah. Also, that bombshell, if y'all have seen this episode, y'all know what I'm talking about, the bombshell going on with Elena's life. I'm very interested to see where we're going, and it's important to note that at this point in time, we're now halfway through the season, and so there's 4 more episodes left. I'm really excited to check out what's next. The next one is called The Double, so I'm very curious to see about that. And, of course, Antonio is continuing to be, more important of a character than I think even the show admits. like, I definitely want to see more of Antonio because of just how integral he is to sort of, like, he's like the puppet master that isn't actually the puppet master. He's like the puppet master who doesn't realize he's the puppet master, which I think is really funny because, you know, he's kind of like making sure everybody in the town is like doing their proper thing, but like it's not him that's doing, like, he's just following whatever orders he's getting, which is like aren't really orders, but like he's you know, like Antonio's kind of, he's kind of his own thing. And so I really like him a lot. I think the actor who plays him, Javier Bodalo, or Bodalo, I don't, again, pronunciation, not great. But I think he does a great job portraying Antonio, and I'm excited. I hope we get to see more of him because I do question, you know, how he became this way. You know, why is it him? Why him? What's his role necessarily? Is he just this sort of, you know, person that these demons, or it seems now, I'm trying to remember the names, the Canaanites, is that what they're called, the group that they're using to try to get these coins, right? I'm very interested to learn more, but we definitely got a lot of information about, you know, what's going on, although in typical 30 coins fashion, we have even more questions now, right? And so, yeah, I'm definitely liking where things are going. Padre, he's killing it, as always. Like, every episode, I keep, you know, liking the character of Padre Vergara more and more. I keep saying, like, how I was going back and forth, but every episode, I'm, like, getting slower and slower. I'm like, okay, I'm really liking him. I'm hoping that his relationship with Paco and Elena especially, will continue to get better and foster and all that sort of thing. And I hope that Merche just dies somehow. I really do. I feel like they're setting it up. I feel like it's going to happen, but I don't know. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. I don't know. Just hate Merche. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Elena's development. I love the development she's going through. I understand it. It's just I don't want necessarily all of it. Like, it makes sense. I don't blame the show at all, but I just want Elena to understand that Paco is the man of her dreams. And if not him, then me, because Megan Montaner, if you're watching, you're a beautiful lady. Anyway. So, yeah, and I love Paco as always. I think probably if I had to pick a favorite character, I think Paco is probably the best. I feel like he makes the most sense because Father Vergara, he makes a lot of decisions that I can kind of understand. You know, he's got his secrets. He doesn't want to involve other people. He's got a lot of fear. You know, his actions have resulted in people's deaths. Not even necessarily his fault, but he blames himself, that sort of thing. So I can understand his hesitation and all of that, but it still makes me mad. Elena, kind of in the same way. Like, I understand the decisions that she makes, but it's like, whatever. But Paco, my man Paco always be like, yo, I ain't no simp. Like, Merche, know your place. You know, he's just trying to protect his village. And, you know, he's like, hey, like, the people were like, hey, this priest is sus. And so Paco was like, let's not accuse him. Let's figure out what's going on. And he goes and he figures things out. And he's like, you know, this is, you know, it's kind of his fault, but it's not really his fault. And even when the whole town's against the priest, he's like, because, you know, Paco's a good dude. I like Paco. I want to see more of Paco because Paco is the only person in this show who is truly making the best decisions, in my personal opinion. And I will always support Paco. Also Antonio, even though he's kind of a bad guy, not really. You know what I mean, though. And so, yeah. Oh, I guess there's one person that is in the cast. Cardinal Santoro is technically someone who is introduced today. But, you know, y'all who've seen the episode know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, they're on the Wikipedia page. But anyway, I'm very excited to see more. It just keeps getting more and more interesting. I'm hoping that we get to see some more, like, I still think that Cobwebs is probably the strongest part of the show thus far, because I love the really cool monster sequence. Like, I love that. It felt like Stranger Things-esque, and I'd like to see more of that. I know that requires a budget, and so I bet you money that's probably the most, like, CGI-intensive episode of the season, because, you know, they wanted to get people hooked and all that, and I understand that. And, you know, I won't be surprised if that, you know, is true. But again, wish list. I hope to see more of that. Hope to see more cool things. Memories, you know, this was all sort of just explaining the story, and that kind of makes sense. We're at the halfway point. I'm kind of hoping with the double we get a sort of, like, again, more supernatural-esque, like, Monster of the Week type situation. Sort of, like, similar to episode 2 and 3 with Ouija in the mirror. And also Cobwebs, too. And, like, that also had its own sort of demon. I hope we get to see that, though. I completely understand. I don't think Memories was a bad episode at all. Like I said, it was great. 8 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. But I'm excited to hear more, basically. To see more, that sort of thing. Because, yeah, I haven't been bored by it yet. It went extremely fast, the episode. I felt like, you know, by the time I started watching it, it was already over. And I'm just like, oh, wow, this is... I want more of this. And so now I'm, like, officially caught up. And so I'm like, man... now I have to wait. So, I'm excited. I will see you guys on next Tuesday for my review. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't see any reason why not. But for my review of The Double, Episode 5. And thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode, or just 30 coins thus far, down in the comments below. Like if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys next time for whatever it is I'm doing. Alright, see ya.